wish to start the meeting, but before we start, I would wish that is Eunice Maida. Can you take us before the Lord for prayers? Thank you.
Okay, let us pray. Everlasting Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, we thank you, Jehovah God, for this session, oh God. Thank you, Lord, for each and every one of us that has gathered, oh God, my Father, in this platform, oh Jehovah God. As we start our lesson today, Jehovah God, may you guide us, Jehovah. Thank you, Lord, for our facilitator. We take him before you, oh God. How I pray that Jehovah will give him insight, oh God, even as he take us through the sessions, Jehovah God will get understanding and being informed on the same, Jehovah. Thank you, Jehovah, because you're leading us, Jehovah God. Thank you for the others who are yet to join, Jehovah. I pray that, Lord, you lead them to that, Jehovah, so that they can join in time. In Jesus' name, we pray, trusting and believing. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Eunice. Today being our second week since we started the training module. Last week we did module 1, and today we will do module 2. And this module 2 will still be facilitated by Mr. Gerard Saleh, who will take us through the entire module to share with us what this module has for us as far as integrity is concerned. And just before I usher in Mr. Gerald, we will wish to receive some communication from the communication team and the admin team led by Ken. Ken, do you have something before we start off the training? Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Kennedy, the operations manager. So just welcome you to this session. I'm a bit held up and I'll be joining in later on. So I believe Gerald is on standby.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, Gerald, for coming through. So I'll be leaving you to take over. I'll be joining in later. Thank you, everyone, and have a fruitful session.
Thank you, Ken.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you so much, Ken. As it has been said, Mr. Garel will be taking us through module 2. As you know, we have about 8 modules to cover for the whole program. So we are in our second module. So Mr. Gera, thank you so much for the last week training. It was really interesting. It was really educative, and we got to learn more from it. So today we are so much eager to learn what you are going to teach us. So welcome, Mr. Gerald.
Thank you, Miriam. Hi, everyone. Yes, welcome to our second module. I'm very happy to see all of you with high spirits waiting for the second module. I think that you learned a lot in our first module last week. I was very, very happy to see how you interacted during the session. And I hope it will be the same today. Okay. Today we are going to see how we can promote transparency and accountability. We are going to explore the importance of accountability and transparency in preventing corruption. Because, you know,
instead of advancing,
corruption is a very bad cancer, and we need strong strategies to fight against it. And one of those strategies transparency and accountability, how we can advance transparency and accountability in our respective organizations. We must start. So we are going to explore. Today, we are going to learn a lot about transparency and accountability. Those are very important words or concepts in our war or our fight against corruption. So you must know how to apply transparency and accountability when you want to combat corruption. So I want to hear from you. Try now to tell us what you understand about the concept of transparency. What is a transparency? Let's explore the meaning of the word transparency. Yes, okay. I want to hear from you.
I think I can start. For me, I can say transparency is being open or being accessible or just being open, openness. Thank you.
Okay, great. Someone else?
Yeah, I can give some insights.
Okay, come on.
According to me, transparency is making things clear from the word go. That is from the Genesis. If it is like an initiative, a project, or something you want to do as a group or an individual, you need to make things clear from the word go, and even the implementation process or the way you will do it, so that at the end you can build trust, and at the end you can be accountable. So making things clear. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. That is a very good answer. Yes, transparency is about being open. Okay, it refers to the openness, clarity, accessibility of information. Okay, that is a transparency, and it's very important in combating corruption. Okay, we need our second slide. So we are going to explore the meaning of that word deeply, and everyone should know how they can apply transparency in their life, in their professional and personal life. Transparency refers to the openness, accessibility, and clarity of information and decision-making process. Transparency refers to the openness, accessibility, and clarity of information in decision-making processes. It means that for leaders like you need to be transparent in every actions that you are doing, because it helps the people understand the work that you are doing, and also it creates trust, as we saw it in integrity. People must be informed of what you are doing, and your information, the information that you are providing them must be clear. Don't try to hide something from what you are doing. And transparency, I've got very good advantages. Now, I want to learn from you, trying now to guess some advantages of transparency. Why do we need the transparency? Try to guess some. Let's discuss about the benefits of transparency. Who can be the first one to speak?
Okay, I can speak.
Yes.
Transparency enhance should I say proper or credible accountability at the end of whatever you are doing or you want to start. Because always when you start something, there is an end of everything. So when there is clear of anything you have started, then at the end it enhances that swiftly accountability. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Now, someone else, be specific in your answer. We want to know the benefits of transparency or its advantages. Why do we need transparency in business, in civil society, in government? Why? What can be its benefit for the community, for the organization, etc.? Okay, someone else. Your answer was great. I I want to hear from someone else. Yes.
In my view, transparency improves the end result of sustainable living in the community and in the organization and in the entire nation as well.
Great. Okay. So, do you think that transparency is relevant to help organizations achieve their goals? Why? Do you think that transparency is really relevant for organizations to achieve their goals?
Mr. Gerard, good evening.
Yes.
I would like
Good evening.
to give my input on that question. You have asked the importance of transparency in terms of governance and the general outlook of how the organization should be taken for. I think, in my opinion, transparency really removed the doubts in a particular organization or even an individual. There's this audit reports that are supposed to be generated from time to time. So if we emphasize transparency, then I think we can be taken to be very credible in whatever we are participating in, especially in matters of budgeting and funding. Thank you very much.
Oh, great. Great. Okay. The benefits of transparency include enhanced trust, improved governance, and reduced opportunities for corruption to happen. So when you can try to check all of these benefits of transparency, you can find out that if an organization wants to create trust, okay, to build credibility, they must include in their strategies transparency, because as we are going to see further, transparency is also important in fighting against corruption. Thank you. So your contributions were very important, and that is exactly what transparency means for organizations, businesses, and government. Thank you. Next slide. Okay, I want to hear from you. Why do you think that transparency can enhance economic growth and investment? Who's speaking? Please give more clarifications and explanations about how transparency can lead to growth, to economic growth, and to foreign investment or internal investment. How do you think that transparency can be important to lead to economic growth and investment? I need you to interact actively about this topic. Okay, when we are talking about economic growth, we are just we can see resources, okay, that can be sold, that can help a country be economically well. For example, when we see all the business people, when those business people are working with the transparency, they can build a trust, okay, for their customers, and then customers will come many to buy from them, and this will help them to increase their incomes. So that is why we say transparency leads to economic growth and investment. People will need to invest more because they see that there is a transparency. Thank you. Next slide. Okay, what is accountability? We want to hear from you. try to explain the concept of accountability and tell us the importance of that concept in our businesses, our organizations, and even in the government? Why do you think that accountability is important? Start by defining it, and then you will give some explanation about how accountability is important in our organizations, businesses, and government. Who can define accountability?
Accountability have to be responsible in whatever thing that you are doing, since from the inception up to the end. Say it is the act of being responsible. The importance of accountability is that rate of corruption, because he needed to be accountable in whatever thing that he or she has done with the mandate that is given to the. So it reduces corruption because someone will be accountable for it at the end. Thank
you. Great. Who else can tell us more about accountability? Why do you think that accountability is important for civil society, for businesses and organizations, and the government? Thank you for your response. We want to hear from someone else.
Hello. For me, I think accountability is being in control and accounting for the actions and the behaviors of one towards a certain task given to him or her. And accountability facilitates it gives one the urge to do the right thing, because after all, you have to give explanations on what you have done and the reasons in a procedural way. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, accountability. You have been giving the meaning of the concept of accountability, which is a very important concept in fighting corruption, because it's one of the strategies that can be used to combat corruption. As integrity leaders, you must know how to apply accountability in your respective organizations or businesses, because being accountable means that you are responsible for your actions, okay? And you are ready to provide explanations about them. It means that you are responsible for your actions. You say, yes, I have been entitled to manage a business or to run a business. And after running it, they ask you to provide some explanation about your duty. Then when you provide that explanation, it means you are just doing what we call accountability. Am I clear? Okay, try to give more examples of accountability. Who's ready? An example of accountability. No one?
We can
say
that.
Trevor, yeah.
We can say that during a presentation of audit paper,
I can't hear you, John.
We can say that if you present audit papers, that is accountability.
Okay, yes, audit papers, accountability. Is it accountability?
Okay, maybe I can try, yeah?
Okay, come on.
In a situation where you are giving a report, how maybe money was spent in a certain initiative or a project.
Okay, that is true. Thank you so much. Next slide. About accountability, definition of accountability. Okay, accountability refers to the responsibility for someone's actions and the obligation to provide explanations and justifications. The benefits of accountability is ensuring ethical behavior and preventing corruption include enhance the trust, improve the decision-making, effective resource allocation, civic empowerment, and economic growth and investment. Okay, as you can see, there are linkages between accountability and transparency because they play almost the same role, even if they have got some subtle differences, but all of them aim at combating corruption or preventing corruption, while transparency is about being clear. Accountability is about reporting what you have been entitled about. It means you wanted to give information about what you have been given as a responsibility. That is accountability. And you can be clearly accountable when you have been also transparent in doing your duty, in achieving your duty, because the two words are interlinked. Thank you so much. And you must know that those are very good strategies to prevent corruption. In your organizations, businesses, government, you must know how to apply transparency and accountability in order to prevent corruption. Thank you. Next slide. Okay, transparency and accountability now. Let's explore now the linkages between transparency and accountability, and please, the transparency and corruption. What do you think that can be the link between transparency and corruption, or the relationship between the two? What is the relationship between transparency and corruption?
Mr. Gerard, I think in my opinion, there's no relationship between transparency and corruption, because those are very distinguished things. One is like light, the other one is like darkness. So there's no way they can coexist together. So one automatically shuts down the other.
Okay, great. Now, someone else.
Okay, Gerald.
Come on, yes.
For me, I think there is correlation. It's like a two-way. That one is at the up, and then another one it's downward. So when we look where there is no good transparency, or where there is no transparency, then it's leading to corruption. And where there is good transparency, there is no corruption. So that is one leads to another, because if there is good transparency, there will not be corruption. But if there is no good transparency, or if there will be no clear transparency, then definitely corruption will be will be accounted or will be seen. Yeah.
That is good. Thank you. I want to hear from you all, someone else. This must be the last one.
Okay, for me to add.
And
yes,
in my view, there is a relationship between transparency and corruption, because transparency acts as an obstacle for corruption. So in other words, it reduces corruption. So if transparency exists, there is no an avenue of corruption. Thank you.
Oh, great. Thank you. Okay, someone else.
Okay, I just wanted to add on what I think John was saying, that when there is, transparency is what will expose corruption, because when something is transparent, then it doesn't mean that there'll be no other things that will be happening behind the scene. So we need transparency for corruption to be exposed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So Miriam, show us the slide and we can learn more about transparency, the relationship, okay? Transparency and corruption. The relationship between transparency and corruption can be understood as follows. Transparency exposes corruption, holds individuals and institutions accountable, prevents corruption, and promotes good governance. Transparency plays a crucial role in combating corruption. It acts as a deterrent by reducing opportunities for corrupt practices and increasing the likelihood of detection and punishment. Yes, you have been given very good explanations about the linkages between transparency and corruption. It means that they have got a negative relationship, okay? When there is transparency, the more we are transparent, the less corruption happens. It means we need transparency to reduce corruption. And that is one of the strategies you are called to use. You must use in your organizations, in your integrity leadership activities, so that you can achieve transparent and more accountable goals. Or let's go to the next slide. We are now going to explore how we can promote transparency and good governance. We have just seen that transparency is very important to reduce corruption or to prevent it. Now, let's talk about transparency in good governance. Why do you think that transparency is important for good governance? Let us speak about strategies. What are the strategies that we can apply or we can use to enhance transparency in good governance?
Maybe I will start, Mr. Gerard. Thank you for thank you for your presentation so far. What I would like to point out is that when it comes to matters to do with governance and leadership, when you assume a leadership position, you should be very transparent in whatever you are trying to do in that position. What do I mean? You have been elected as the Senate, you have been elected as a member of parliament. Here in Kenya, there's this thing we call declaration form. You have to declare your net worth. You will go to a panel, or maybe you will be summoned by a committee, and they will expect you to declare all whatever you are holding in your possession. So that is one form of transparency in governance and leadership. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now we need some strategies we can use to ensure that transparency exists in governance. What are the strategies that we can use? In the government, yes. Okay. Transparency. What strategies can you use to ensure transparency in government institutions?
In my view, encouragement of citizen participation. Encouragement of citizen participation. That is.
Someone else, another strategy? That is one. Who can give us another strategy to ensure transparency in government institution?
Hello. I think
Yes.
you can create checks and balances for the organization.
Okay, sorry, we did not catch you well. Can you repeat?
Creating checks and balances in organizations and institutions.
Okay, good, great. Okay, another one. Okay, we want to see the slide and we are going to reflect on those to know what exactly we have to do in order to foster transparency. Okay, strategies in government institutions. For instance, implement and enforce strong legal frameworks. It means we must have legal frameworks that are very, very solid. Constitution, for instance, and other anti-corruption initiatives. They must include very specific aspects that lead to transparency. Enhance access to information. One of you told us about the importance of access to information to enhance integrity. And the same can apply for transparency. Strengthen whistleblower protection. Yeah, this has been a long discussion in our chats, how we can protect a whistleblower. I think you have learned a lot that we need to protect whistleblower. So that is also an important aspect of promoting transparency in good governance. And when we are talking about good governance, don't think about the government itself. No, this concept applies even for businesses and organizations. We have to encourage citizen participation. Great, it was the answer of someone. Foster a culture of transparency, use technology for transparency, strengthen oversight mechanisms. You have given this as another tool, okay, to promote accountability or transparency. Examples of transparency in government institutions now. Please try to give some examples from your experiences. What can be some of the examples which we can consider here? Yes, we want to hear from you. Okay, we have got many examples of successful transparency initiatives and their impact on reducing corruption. We have, for example, open budget initiative in South Africa. It means that the budget should not be a secret, okay? Budget is a public resource. Everyone should have access to it. Everyone should know about their budget. Don't hide that. In South Africa, they tried to make it open to everyone. Okay, Right to Information Act in India. This was India. They tried to develop this to ensure that information is accessed by every citizen in their country. An open data initiative in Kenya. Data is open. It means that everyone can go and ask information about, for example, a project. If there is a project, you can ask, oh, what about this? What have been achieved? What can, etc. Any questions you can have about projects, about, I don't know, legal information, they have to provide you with that. Okay, Public Procurement Oversight Authority in Kenya. So you must learn more about all of these to ensure that you understand what accountability and transparency is, because they are very good examples of transparency initiatives. Thank you. Next slide. Yeah, promoting transparency in businesses. How can you promote transparency in businesses? Okay, even if you don't work, for a business or a company, you can imagine, okay? Put yourself at the place of a client or someone working with the company and try to think about some advantages of being transparent in a company. What do you think are the advantages of being transparent? Why is transparency important in business? Okay, I want to hear from you. Yes, who is already here?
We can say.
Pardon the question, please.
Hello, we can say that it promotes individual interests in a company. Like if you are transparent, maybe your personal data is, your personal interests are protected. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Someone else?
Transparency in business promotes loyalty. Maybe, let's say, for example, I'm a businessman and the prices of commodity keeps on changing every now and then. Let's say, for example, it has changed today. So I have to inform my customer that the price of certain commodity has changed, so that I may be loyal to them. So it creates loyalty.
Okay, thank you. Someone else?
Okay, for
Important.
me, I can say that transparency, it will ensure accountability. I think one will be able to account for maybe for the actions that are being done.
Great. Okay, you have been giving very good examples. Okay, transparency helps build a stronger relationship with the customers and employees. It helps build a trust with the stakeholders. It creates loyalty. Yes, you've been thinking about this. It increases people's accountability. It creates a solid flow of communication through every level of the business: financial reporting, supply chain management, and corporate social responsibilities. It means every aspect that you think is positive about transparency in order to attract customers or to create a very good relationship with the stakeholders, people you collaborate with. That is very important, because transparency can attract people to you, whether you are transparent in your businesses. In some businesses, you can ask for information and they will tell you, no, please, we don't have that information, even if they have it, and that is not good. So you must be honest when running a business. Thank you. Next slide. Okay, now we are going to explore some tools, okay, for transparency. I know that it is not your first time to hear about what you can do online, for example, to protect information or to have access to information. Try to think about any tools that you know to enhance transparency, especially online. Please try to tell us about some tools you know. What are the tools that you know about transparency, how to enhance transparency? Yes, participants, we want to hear from you.
Okay, we can say that we are having whistleblowers offices such as Office of the Director of the Auditor General in Kenya, maybe the such offices.
Okay. Someone else?
In my view, social media platform is a tool for transparency also. In government, they usually share their information through social media platform, various platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and others.
Okay, do you know about any mobile applications that are used to enhance transparency in Kenya? Please try to think about any mobile applications that can be used to enhance transparency in Kenya specifically. Okay, next slide. We want to see those tools. We have, for instance, Ushahidi. Ushahidi is a crowdsourcing platform developed in Kenya that allows users to report and map incidents using various channels such as SMS, email, and social media. I don't know if you have never heard about this. And we have also iCar. iCar is a mobile application developed in Kenya that provides the farmers with information on livestock management, market prices, and weather updates. We have got Twaweza. It's another application. Twaweza is a social initiative operating in East Africa that uses various tools and technologies to promote transparency and accountability in education and governance. So there are too many tools that you can see and are very relevant for promoting transparency. And you must get used to all of those tools because they are very important when you want to fight against corruption, when you want to promote transparency, accountability. So you must know which tools to use because not every tool is important to foster transparency. Because when you want to be transparent, it means you are giving information. And so you must avoid from giving some sensitive information. We have been talking about whistleblower, how we can protect them. Some people can refrain themselves from giving information because they are afraid of their security. They have got information, but they say, no, I cannot give this information because I am not protected. So we need very good ways to provide information to ensure that whistleblowers are protected or are likely to be protected. Yeah, tools for transparency, open data platforms, digital reporting systems, blockchain technology, social media and crowdsourcing, open government data analytics, and artificial intelligence are some tools and technologies that have been used in Kenya and Africa to enhance transparency. We have Ushahidi, ICAR, MPDegree, Open Contracting Data Standard, Twaweza, Huduma Kenya, benefits and challenges associated with implementing these tools. Okay, what do you think can be the benefits associated with the use of these tools? I want you to think, okay, too much about what can be the benefits, because I have given even some partial answers. Thank you. Okay.
Perfect. Can I go?
Yes, go.
Emmanuel here speaking. I think one of the benefits I can visibly note from my interaction with some of these tools is witness protection. So witnesses remain anonymous throughout the tools, which guarantees first the security entity of it by the whistleblower and all witnesses involved. So most people will be much comfortable to interact with the tools by and large. Thank you.
And then another advantage of these tools is that you don't have to travel all the way from where you are coming from to report to the offices. Just by the click of a button, you are able to send your query or to report any incident that you have witnessed. Thank you.
In terms of efficiency, transmission of details and data and interaction with the both party ends is quite efficient. So reports can reach the relevant authorities in good time and action can be taken in good time, hence preventing much damage.
Great. Okay, keep writing. Type your answers now in the chats. For those who did not say anything, make sure that you write your responses in the chats. What do you think can be the benefits of using those online tools to ensure technology, or please to ensure transparency in government institutions? Type your responses, please. I want to read them. Holding individuals and institutions accountable. Okay, mechanisms for holding individuals and institutions accountable. We are going to explore those ones. But before, let me read. No one has typed yet. Okay. I see these tools bring the services closer to the people. Thank you. Easy accessibility. Thank you. Keep typing, keep typing, keep typing. Yeah. Help to preserve your security. Okay. Yes. Keep typing. People's security are guaranteed from being threatened. Yes. Save time. Yes. For future reference that resources were used. Okay. Once the security is guaranteed. Okay. Yes. Keep writing. Now we want to talk about how we can hold individuals and institutions accountable. Yeah. Holding institutions accountable. institutions are doing some work for the organization. Okay, here there is something. You say scorecards enable us to rate performance. Okay, great. Let's now examine this, how we can hold individuals and institutions accountable, either in our organizations or in the government. Now try to think about how we can hold those different organizations or government accountable, and by which way those people can ensure that whistleblowers protection is really guaranteed. Because we must know that accountability is very important. I am accountable, I have to be transparent. Okay, now individuals must be held accountable, and there are some mechanisms that must be used in order to ensure that accountability. For example, independent judiciary. Let us speak about independent judiciary. What do you think about this? I need some clear explanation about this, please. About the independent judiciary, what do you think about independency in the judiciary?
I will go first.
Access to justice is
okay.
A key enabler when it comes to transparency, and an independent judiciary plays a keystone role in assuring the general public that their interests will be heard and justice will be served, and the goodwill of protecting public goods and money. Thank you.
Okay. That it means that in the okay, someone else. Okay, go on.
Yeah, to me, I can tell that independent judiciary is a body that needs to operate in a manner that is not in any form of favor, bias, or jeopardized by any other institution or an individual for the discharge of its mandate as per the laws and the regulation of the Constitution. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Okay. Now we can also see anti-corruption commissions. Have you ever heard about any anti-corruption commission? And try to explain what the role an anti-corruption commission can play.
Thank you. I can try. Like in Kenya today, we have anti-corruption commissions such as the EACC, that is the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, that deals with matters of ensuring that public servants and any other person is operating in a manner that is required by the laws. And this anti-corruption commission just ensures that entities or institutions, especially the public sector, is not being swayed by any form of corruption. And this will enable in ensuring that whatever this institution has set to achieve are being achieved. For example, EACC looks at for example, the county governors who at one point maybe have been able to leak or maybe steal some public resources. So EACC will come in and look into the matter, look on maybe as accountability and transparency being in that matter. So when they found some faults, then they will hold that particular leader responsible for his actions. Yeah, basically. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yes. Now let's explore something on the slide. We are going now to deepen this. You have been giving very good explanations. Congratulations, all of you. Yes, we can see that when holding individuals and institutions accountable, it means first we can see independent judiciary. There must be independence within judiciary. Okay, we need anti-corruption commissions. Okay, even in your organizations, in the government or in businesses, there should be anti-corruption commissions that are used to are dedicated anti-corruption commissions or agencies established to investigate or prosecute corruption. These bodies have the authority to conduct investigations, okay, seize assets and bring charges against individuals involved in corrupt practices. So that is very important. We have also whistleblower protection. We must protect the whistleblower because it encourages them to provide relevant information about corruption. When whistleblowers are not protected, they will be reluctant. They will not be willing to provide information. Okay, we need civil society organizations, or civil society organizations that play a very big role in promoting accountability, because civil society organizations are very crucial in holding individuals and institutions accountable through advocacy, monitoring, and public awareness. They act as the watchdogs, and they also help to expose corruption. There is also public oversight and audit institutions. Okay, some of you have been telling us about this. Public overview, okay, such as audit institutions and ombudsman offices monitor the activities of individuals and institutions to ensure compliance with the laws. You know, you have laws in your country, and you should know that it's only the law that defines the corruption and acts of corruption, and even sanctions that should be applied for those who goes for those who go against it. So it means you have to respect the law, and there must be some bodies that are watching, that are overseeing how corruption is being done in the country and how it can be combated. Thank you. Next slide. This is very important. Importance of whistleblower protection. What do you think can be the importance of whistleblower protection? I need one of you to read here quickly.
Thank you. Whistleblower are the main guarantees when it comes to issues around transparency, because they bring out to the limelight many social ills and ills that are contained within systemic factors that most of us within the general public don't have access to. So their protection, once guaranteed, it makes the entire program around accountability be effective, because those who have access to any fine details around ethical issues around accountability will have the confidence to bring it forth, and the whistleblowers as also the key witnesses when it comes to the judicial systems. So their protection guarantees success when it comes to justice, and perpetrators will have their day in court. And of course, accountability threshold will also be guaranteed now that people will know that we have watchdogs within who have enough powers to do that which is entrusted on them. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, the importance of whistleblower protection, it helps uncovering hidden corruption, ensuring accountability, deterring future wrongdoing, helps raise awareness, put pressure, strengthens the democracy and rule of law, ensures deterrence and prevention. So it's very important to protect whistleblowers, because when these ones are not protected, they cannot provide information. As you must know, your safety and your security is very important. We want you to be honest, to provide information, but when you think that you are not protected, when you give that information, something bad can happen to you. When you see that the risk of being maybe killed or punished after blowing a whistle is very high, you can decide not to provide information. That is what I can tell you, because you need to be protected in order to provide relevant or sensitive information. Imagine when you want to say something about your government or a politician that has made something wrong. And when you think that a politician is an influential one and they can do something bad to you, and there is no laws in place to protect you, please don't give information because of your security. And we have a role of investigative journalism here, exposing corruption through investigative journalism, raising public awareness and putting pressure. Public awareness and pressure, strengthening democracy and rule of law, ensuring deterrence and prevention. As you can see, a role of investigative journalism and importance of whistleblower protection, they are almost the same. They play almost the same roles. It means we need journalists who can also help us report information, especially that information which is sensitive. Okay, so that is very important. And try to tell us about your something you know from your experience in your country, in Kenya. What do media do to promote transparency, accountability, and even to ensure whistleblowers protection? Do you know anything about that? I'm asking you about the role of investigative journalism in Kenya, especially media that are specialized in providing some sensitive information. Are they protected by the laws in your country?
Mr. Gerald, I would like to point out that we have so many investigative journalists here in Kenya, and one of them, as we speak, was elected as a member of parliament. We call him Jitopevu. So he used to work for KTN, and he was a very good investigative journalist. He covered stories to do with terrorism, stories to do with money laundering. And in that process, his profile really rose here in Kenya. And he tried his hand in politics, and people had enough faith in him because of the work that he had done, though it was very risky for him. Still, at the end of the day, he was elected as a member of parliament. And I think he has really inspired others to take the lead and be also in this sector of investigative journalism. So yes, they are here and they are making good progress.
Thank you so much. Okay, so you can see that journalists really play a very great role in exposing corruption, but they need protection. They need protection. It means that the government must put in place some laws that protect them. And even individuals like you, when you want to report corrupt practices, make sure that there are some laws that can protect you, because there are some dangerous effects that can happen to you, and you have to avoid that. Thank you. So let's move to the next slide.
Gerald.
Yeah.
I want to give some insights, huh?
Yeah, go on.
As long as in Kenya the investigator journalism, they are being protected by law, but still the law still violates their rights, because you can find out they're being mistreated in a series of events where they are just gone there for a mission. We have just seen it in some media, whereby a journalism goes in maybe in a protested area and being mistreated by the law. That when I say the law, I mean the police, the government officials. Some they get brutal beatings. So as much as there is law which protect them, still the law violates their rights. Thank you.
Okay, that is good, but it is sorrowful to hear that even if the law exists, it doesn't protect the journalist fully. What do you think can be done in order to ensure the security of those journalists? It means laws need to be strengthened, right?
I think from where I sit, the law is quite conclusive. The implementers are the problem, because we even have a police oversight commission, which personally wonder what they do, because we still have cases being documented open-aired of harassment of journalists. Especially this has been the latest trend in Kenya with the recent public picket and ticketing that had been going on for almost 3 months. So for me, the law is quite clear on our rights as the general public, and the rules of those in powers. But the biggest problem is during implementation. And of course, the executive has a high influence when it comes to the judicial angle bit of it. So a bit here and there, generally, there's lack of goodwill to some extent.
Okay, thank you for all your views. They are excellent. And I would like to know, and this you can write in the chat, what suggestions can you give in order to strengthen the law in the country for the benefit of journalists or investigative journalists? Try to provide any suggestions to improve the law in your country. I need you typing, players. I want you to type your responses. Try to give some suggestions in favor of investigative journalists. How can the government improve their laws in order to help investigative journalists to do their work well? Try to give some suggestions in the chats. And we are moving to the next slide now. Okay, I can see here we can improve our system by having anonymous accounts with the untraceable IP address that can maintain the confidentiality. Okay, great. Yes, keep writing your suggestions because we need the protection of investigative journalists in Kenya. In Kenya, the law is very clear. Implementers are poor, okay? To strengthen the implementers needs to be really educated because the implementers are not well conversant with the law. Policy to put on body cameras, okay? Policy to put on body cameras, okay? Keep writing your opinions. Okay, now, while you are writing your suggestions to improve the law, you still have 1 minute. I want to read from everyone. Yes, keep writing. We need whistleblowers protection. So you can suggest something to improve if there is bad law or if the implementation of the law is not guaranteed. Now you can propose some tips. What do you think can be done to improve that? Yes. Thank you for all your contributions. Now we are going to explore some case studies in different countries, especially Botswana and Kenya. We are going to explore their experience with corruption and what they have done to be successful in combating corruption. We start with Botswana, and this must be like a homework that you will do. It means you are going to make a research about Botswana. Let me tell you something about this country. It's one of most transparent countries in Africa because according to international transparencies, corruption perception index, this country happens, it means it's the first transparent country in Africa. It happens at the first place in Africa. It means they have got very good strategies to combat corruption. Now, try to look for more information about how Botswana is doing to ensure that it is transparent. And you will try to answer the following question. Try to answer these questions. How did Botswana achieve a reputation for being one of Africa's least corrupt countries? You will make research online or you can read books if you have them and answer all of these questions. Second question, what specific measures did Botswana implement to promote transparency and accountability? Third question, what role did strong leadership and political will play in Botswana's success? Another question, how did the promotion of transparency and accountability in Botswana contribute to economic development and investors' confidence? Last question, what lessons can other African countries, including Kenya, learn from Botswana's experience in combating corruption? This is an assignment that I've given you. Try to make research and come up with any reasonable information that you will share with us 2 weeks time. Please try to read. You have at least 2 weeks for this. Make research and you will learn more about how Botswana is fighting corruption. And there is the second case study. This is about Kenya. Kenya's Huduma centers and service delivery transformation. Okay, the first question, how have the Huduma centers in Kenya transformed the service delivery and accountability in the Huduma centers? Next, how have the Hudumas, next, what specific measures were implemented to promote transparency and accountability in the Huduma centers? How have the Huduma centers streamlined government services and reduced bureaucracy? Next question, how did the use of technology and digitization contribute to transparency and accountability in the service delivery process? Next question, what challenges did Kenya face in implementing the Huduma centers and how were they addressed? Last question, how can the success of the Huduma centers be replicated in other African countries to improve service delivery and combat corruption? Okay, now you can answer all of those questions. No, please. Try to choose one topic. Let me say Benjamin Lewa, Cynthia, Edward, Edwin, Emmanuel, Eunice, Maita, John, Mwanajuma. No. Okay, even Mwanajuma, you will work on the case study about Botswana. And we have Philip, Salim, Savara, Tom, Trevor, Zairo. You will work on the case study about Kenya. Am I clear? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, now you can make research on different case studies and please try to provide as much information as possible. We want to learn more from you about Botswana and Kenya. Now let's move to our group activities. It's the following slide. Group activities. Okay. If you have questions, please feel free to ask questions.
So, Gerald.
Yes.
How do we do it? Will we break to a breakout session or how can we go about it? The case study, that is.
Yes, you will do this later. It means that you are going to make research and you will try to write your responses on a file. Everyone, it is an individual work. Everyone will present their work and we are going to read you all. Please, it is not today. Okay?
Then can you resend please the case study for Kenya? Because I've just said that I'm working for the case study for Kenya.
No, don't worry. Please, don't worry. We are going to share a file with you later. After the session, I will share a file with you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, we are going to start with our group activities now. So we need your engagement for these activities. and everyone must be involved in And Miriam, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Okay, please try to share our group activities. I want to give some instructions. Participants can work on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So can I share a screen or I just share in the chat box? Okay, there it is.
All right. And also I've read that case studies are sent in WhatsApp, in the WhatsApp group.
WhatsApp
So
group.
everyone can check the WhatsApp group, but before you go there, listen carefully to these instructions. I want to give you some instructions so that you can do a very good work. It means that there are some questions, okay? There is an activity about education transparency campaign. There is an activity about health transparency campaign. There is an activity about the agriculture transparency campaign. So we need you to work on one of these activities. I think that you will know your group later. If you are assigned to one of these activities, you must provide information following the instructions I'm giving you here. It means that you are going to design a transparency campaign, okay? Targeting your assigned sector. Try to design a transparency campaign and use the messages you can. Okay, we have just given you some messages. They're like brainstormings. Okay, you can take idea from those messages to strengthen your transparency campaign. And we also propose the strategies. Try to use those strategies. Choose some of the strategies that are provided there, and tell us how you are going to apply those strategies in order to be successful in your campaign. And try to choose your audiences, because we have also proposed some audiences here. You will read on the paper that will be shared with you, and I think it has been shared with you already in the WhatsApp group. Now you can choose the audience to which you are going to address your campaign, and then you will have 15 minutes to discuss about your campaign in your group. And after 15 minutes, you'll come back to present your work, okay? And we need you to be engaging, to be active in your respective groups. So please try to follow these instructions. And if you have questions, I think I'll be there and I will help. So it's time now. They can access the WhatsApp group to read the questions and work on your transparency campaigns. Participants, I think we are together here now. Yeah, you can divide them now into groups.
Gerald,
Yes.
the communication team will be helping us to, okay, it's there to join the breakout rooms. So
Okay.
our members, kindly click the join on your screens, then join the group.
Philip, have you been allocated any room? Philip and John, are you in any room?
No, I'm not in any room.
No, I tried to join, but I've been logged out. I don't know why. I tried to access the information in WhatsApp. And that's my phone has a challenge. Multitasking
Okay.
it. That's the case.
Oh,
So
okay.
kindly resend it, please. Once again, we join.
Okay, Philip, the same problem? Okay. Edwin, are you in any room? So Philip, you also have a challenge? Philip, can you hear me? Okay, nice.
Hello. Is everyone there? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
All right, Mr. Gerard.
Yes.
Just give me like a few seconds. Members, I hope you had a good engagement in your rooms. And as you know, we were supposed to end our session at 5, and it's already 5. So we are requesting if all members will agree that we give our facilitator around 30 minutes to conclude so that we end at 5:30. Are we all in agreement, members, all fellas? If you are in agreement, just say yes.
Me, yes.
Thank you,
It's
John.
okay.
Okay, I've seen the majority say yes. So, Mr. Gerald, we give you 30 minutes to conclude. Is that okay?
Thank you. That's okay. Okay,
right.
now let's go on. Thank you for patience. We really need much time, but let's accept what happens. So we are going to work on our activities now. We want to hear from every group. You have been conducting very engaging sessions, engaging discussions. Everyone is eager to hear from you. Now we are going to start with the first group. Conduct a transparency campaign in the education sector. So get ready. We want to hear from you. You only have 5 minutes. Thank you.
From group 1, and what to do on the strategy on education sector. And one of the strategies that have been discussed is about encouraging participation in encourage participation of audience in school. That is parents, teachers, and guardians. Both of them, all of them, they need to participate in this issue of transparency. Strategy number 2 is to carry out a campaign and public awareness that fosters culture of transparency, that we need to educate them on issue of corruption and promoting transparency and making them to adopt that culture. Another strategy is to use of technology such as social media and radios to report corruption that helps in promoting transparency. And also another strategy is about encouraging of anonymous reporting of corruption or mismanagement of funds in school. That's all. So back to you, Mwakera, also on the other part.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Like my predecessor set the stage, we are targeting by and large the entire school community, from tutors, learners, administrators, parents, and all other stakeholders, including government, in our campaign. So we have set out a number of messages in 2 formats. Some are issue-oriented, some are target population-oriented. So I'll give you an example of a number of them. So for parents and guardians, our message is: parents, you hold the key to better education. Get involved, ask questions, demand transparency, and secure a brighter future for your children. Your voice matters. Another message, this one is for students. Students, you are the future. Demand transparency in your education. It is your right to know how resources are allocated for your growth. Together, let's create a world where every student thrives. For teachers and educators, you inspire and nurture the next generation. Transparency empowers you to ensure resources reach your classroom. Join us in a quest for a more accountable education system. And many other messages. If there's time, I can read you for school administrators. School administrators, your dedication shapes schools. Embrace transparency to build trust, ensure efficiency, and inspire confidence. Let's work together for a better educational journey. That was group 1. Thank you so much, guys, for your time.
Oh, that is amazing. Thank you. Now we want to hear from group 2, Health Transparency Campaign. So get ready, those people who have been discussing about the strategies to design a transparency campaign in the health sector. Yeah, you only have 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gerald. This is group number 2, and we were discussing the health campaign strategy. And one of our strategy was by use of word of mouth, by going to the community and telling the community members on the importance of taking their responsibility of prioritizing on health. Then another strategy was by use of posters, brochures, and flyers, especially in the urban centers. Then another strategy was by utilizing the health service providers at the community level. For example, in Kenya, we're having the CHP, whom we call the community health promoters, whom are assigned each 100 household. So we, as a strategy, will intend to use each CHP to at least reach out to these homesteads. Then use of public gatherings like churches and like also chief camps, baradas, to reach out to these particular people. Then we added on the key audiences, whereby on the target audience who are targeting the community members, we also are targeting the development partners to help us in ensuring that health goal is being achieved. Then we also target the coming generation, especially the young people, through issues of vaccination. Yeah, then on the key messages we added, that one was to enhance transparency. Health will enhance transparency on what is happening at the government to the community. For example, the community will be aware of the government initiative of improving healthcare. Then of course, transparency will also enhance decision makers of both the community members. Then it will increase the public competency in the health sector. Then on the key messages, and that is as per the Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya, which says that everyone is entitled to quality healthcare services. So we drew it there that health for all is a priority, and therefore all stakeholders should come together to ensure that this is achieved. Then another key message that we drafted is that we call upon concerted efforts of all relevant, that is government and non-sector government actors, to come on board and ensuring that universal health coverage is achieved. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, you still have 2 minutes. If there is something to add by other colleagues, feel free. You still have 2 minutes. It has been amazing. Yes, someone else from the same group? Okay, thank you so much. Now let's move to our last group. It's about agriculture transparency campaign. We want to hear about the strategies that you adopted and the messages that you proposed, even the target audiences that will receive the message. Okay.
Okay, in our group, we are in group number 3, and we were tasked with agriculture transparency. Transparency in agriculture, as we know, leads to sustainable food production and secure livelihoods, ensure distribution of resources and reduces corruption. And also transparency in agriculture promotes trust and collaboration between farmers, the government, and other stakeholders. So our target audience were the smallholder farmers, agribusiness, government, agricultural agencies, extension workers, and the community-based organizations that are dealing with agriculture. So amongst our strategies that we came up with, we were about 5 in our group. So these are the strategies that we came up with. Number 1 was sensitizing the smallholder farmers and the agribusinesses in the need to adopt new technology and ensure that they use the social media platform for access of information, and they can also report any queries that they might come across. And then the other was conduct more trainings to the farmers and agribusinesses so that we can build capacity on them as they contribute in the economy of Kenya, as they also secure livelihoods, and also as they strive to provide the Kenyan market with more products, more agricultural products. Because we cannot, a country cannot run without enough supplies of enough food supplies. So these trainings, especially modern farming trainings, are very, very crucial at this stage. And then the third strategy that we came up with was that the government and the national government and county governments need to ensure that there's proper monitoring and evaluation done on the agricultural programs that are being run in different wards in this country. Myself, I've been in the agricultural sector for quite some time. I've also interned in an agricultural organization before. And I saw that there is a very big disparity in terms of monitoring and evaluation, because these monitoring and evaluation officers are being tasked to go to the interior and to ensure that whatever programs are being run meet their objective. But you'll find that they receive the inputs, they go to the farmers, distribute the inputs, and then they don't follow up. So the farmers are left essentially left on their own. They grow the seeds, they harvest on their own. So and then you find out that they are harvesting quantities that were not intended for that particular season. So they end up being disappointed, and they don't get to meet the profits that they were expecting. So there's need to ensure that there is a monitoring and evaluation done on every program. And then the other one was agribusinesses, the farmers and the CSOs and the extension officers and the government need to work closely. They need to come together and collaborate so that they can be able to speak on one voice, so that whatever program or initiative or investment that maybe touches all the agricultural players, then I think will be bringing everyone on board to ensure that at the end of the day, everyone benefits from whatever investment or project that has been put forward. And that essentially means that there should be meetings or seminars that will be held from time to time that will bring all agricultural players together so that they can be able to share their views and maybe contribute on the way forward. Yeah, thank you. Unless any other of my members has a contribution, they can continue from where I've left. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Now, okay, you still have 1 minute. If someone else from your group can add something. Okay. Thank you all. You are amazing as always. So we are about to finish our module. Now let's give you some assignments. You have to work to do some research again. Don't remember that I gave you, please don't forget to work on the assignments I gave you earlier. It was about Botswana and Kenya, or they are striving, okay, to ensure that transparency and accountability work out in their respective countries. Now try to answer the questions that were asked, and you are going to share the answers with me the first week of November, okay? Now, every one of you should work on one of those topics. I think I have even decided who can work for on which topic, so don't forget. And now there is another assignment I would like to leave you. It's about transparency assessment. This is another good assignment. Now try to imagine one government institution or civil society organization that you know well, and try to make a transparency assessment about that specific institution, and try to suggest some recommendations in areas where it's necessary to improve, okay? And also you have to implement a transparency campaign in the same institution. Okay, listen, I think this can be challenging for you. What you have to know first is what you know about the institution, okay? Make sure that you know the institution well, and you have got some information, be it little but make sure that you have got some relationships with the people working in that institution who can help you with the information you need, and try to use that information to see if the institution really values transparency. And if you see that there are some areas which needs improvements, now try to propose any improvement or recommendations. Thank you. I can see here transparency assessment for your identified institution and provide recommendations. Okay. This is the question. It means that you are going to reach any institutions you know. Choose anyone you know. It can be a government institution, it can be a civil society organization, and try to ask them some questions about how transparent they are, and then decide whether they are transparent or not, or if they need something to change in order to be more transparent. If I'm not clear, please try to ask a question here. We are going to finish. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Did you understand the assignment?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I think this must be the end of our today's session, and I do congratulate you all. You are very wonderful. You have been committed from start to finish. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and don't forget to ask me questions, please, on WhatsApp group. If you've got any questions on this topic, on this module, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Gerard.
You're welcome. Okay. Now, this is the end. Miriam, your turn.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Gerald. That was really wonderful. We've been able to learn on transparency and accountability. And we hope that through this learning, we are going to implement it at the ground on where we are coming from, especially during these research works that you are giving us to get the real picture of whether transparency and accountability works and how can we then improve it and incorporate it in our institution, be it in our various youth groups, in our various civil society organizations that we're coming from. And this will also help us in doing an effective advocacy. So thank you so much, Mr. Gerard Saleh. That was really wonderful. We are happy for this particular session. It has been full of knowledge, full of insights, and well, I'm glad, and I hope that members have also been able to learn more from this session. From my end, I just wish to thank our participant for turning up in good number for this particular session. Unless there is other communication, I will hand over to Ken or any other person from the communication team to make the communication. Thank you. Over to you, Ken.
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, everyone. And let's continue discussing this on the chat group. Gerard will be there and he will be available for answers to any questions that you have.
Thank you so much, members. It has been a wonderful 2.5 hours, and looking forward to meeting you again on the first and second week of November. Yeah, we'll meet again on the first and second week of November for Module 3 and Module 4. So stay tuned. Let's keep interacting on our WhatsApp group. Keep checking your mails and always reach out for any concern or question. Thank you. And have a blessed evening. Okay, before I close the meeting, I think we need to close with a word of prayer. I think I'll choose somebody. A volunteer. A volunteer. Can a volunteer pray for us? Close for us the meeting.
Okay,
Let us
thank you.
believe
Let
and
me
pray.
pray. Okay, go on.
Let us believe and pray. Father in heaven, we beseech you to uphold us with your abundant favor and blessing as we are going to dispatch from this meeting. Be with us. Let your wisdom instill your wisdom in us in whatever we have been taught this evening. Grant more wisdom to Mr. Gerald and everyone. Keep them safe. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Trevor. And have a blessed evening, members, and see you again in our social media platform. Yeah, and welcome again. Bye.